2020, we are gonna open up the special meeting of the village board, which is replacing the normal committee of committees meeting. You do roll call, please. And use the microphone.
Yep. Trustees Chris Samples,
Here.
John Talbot,
Here.
William Luxinger,
Here.
Dina Simpson. Here. Jen Christensen.
Here.
Jared Doan is absent. President Rick Worm.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany.
Here.
I Clerk Sandy Mazem here. Engineers, I'm gonna let you read off your own names real quick.
Corey Buck. Aaron Full. Mike Long.
All right. Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
And Park Supervisor Nathan Hill.
Here.
All right, we need a motion to let Jared attend remotely due to work.
Motion to let Jared Doan attend remotely due to work.
Second.
John makes a motion to let Jared attend remotely due to work. Williams seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
No.
Motion passes 7:02. Roll call.
Jared?
Yes.
All right.
He's here. Entertain a motion for the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 7th committee of committee minutes.
Second that.
Jen makes a motion to approve the July 7th, 2020 committee meeting minutes. Dina seconds. Is there any discussion on those minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes 7:03. Reports to the officers. I have nothing this evening. Sandy?
The only thing I have on there is a draft resolution appointing the building official for the Village of Davis Junction. Currently, our resolution, appoints William Luxinger. And now that we have a code enforcement company that is capable of handling all aspects of our zoning and building codes, we need to update that to make sure that B&F is listed as our building official.
You need a motion for that?
It is not up for approval tonight. If there's no questions, I'll put it on the consent agenda for next week.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. My only concern is, would they be available to answer questions or enforce something on an emergency notice on the weekend or night?
Yes, I have the cell
Perfect.
phone of our contact.
Perfect.
So, yep. All right, I'll put that on the consent agenda for next week. And then, as a reminder, Village Hall will be open. I will not be here Thursday or Friday this week. So if you need anything, call Village Hall.
Brenda?
I do have something tonight. Sickage, was in contact with me, and on June 22nd, they sent all the board members, a letter about fraud inquiries. They have not received any of them back.
Did they
So-
email them?
Yeah, they emailed them. So if you guys could go to your email for June 22nd, look for that.
That's a long way back.
Or I'll look.
And if you need
Who's
them,
on?
sickage,
I thought I
It's
sent
like,
it.
spell it for me, not to sound stupid, but like, seriously.
Um,
It's like
spell it for me.
SKICH.
Okay.
S-I-K-I-C-H.
I thought I sent mine back, but I might not have.
With our crappy email system that we have here, who knows?
I'm sorry, is there something wrong with it that we need updated?
Oh, my
We just
God.
got it done last year.
Could we fix it, you know, so I don't get any...
It came from Abigail Staab,
Okay.
S-T-A-A-B.
I didn't think it was junk mail. Not gonna lie, that has-
So if you can do that as soon as possible, that'd be awesome.
Besides the weekly email that
But
I
it
get
was-
from somebody who says they hacked our account.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Just have
I
to
can
mark
So we
it.
can
You
filter
gotta
it
mark
out.
them as spam though, yeah.
It should go, it shouldn't go
Actually, I thought you were
automatically.
talking about me, your weekly
No.
email.
No,
It's
did,
just like a-
Besides that-
It's like.
It's from Abigail Staab, S-T-A-A-B.
yeah.
Okay.
Just to ask you a few questions.
It says Davis Junction Board Inquiry is what it says.
Oh, I probably, I might have deleted it.
June
It
22nd.
sounds like
Yeah,
junk mail.
it
I'm
does.
sorry,
I got you.
unless it's somebody I actually know. Like, if they had sent it to you and it came from you to
Yeah.
forward,
Because if you look at the,
it's just a bunch
I
of.
believe the
there's so much
attachment has my name on it.
I was gonna say, last
Well, if
year
you-
they mailed the letter to us.
That would be better.
what it
Well-
shows, it says Davis Junction Board Inquiry, hi Rick, my name is Abby.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
that
doesn't
sounds
say
like
anything about
something else.
Sickich or
So look for Abby.
Yeah,
Abigail.
Abigail
Abigail.
Staab, S-T-A-A-B.
All right.
Okay, we'll
I
get
think
those
that's
done.
all I have.
Hold on, I'm gonna piggyback. Chris, I struggle to put filters on our email system because we are a municipality and everything must be open. And so if I were to accidentally put the wrong filter word in there, I could lose out on receiving a FOIA in a timely manner or some other important document. So the filters can't be there. You're just, as you see them, mark them as spam. That's the best we can do.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so like, the only thing I would say, like, just in this, because I didn't delete it, that's lovely, but honestly, in the future, it would be much better if they sent it to you and then you send it to us, because then we'd know it's real. Like, because I don't think about, like, if it just starts off with a, hi, my name is X, I'm like, I'm done. So like, because it has a preview, it just.
And I'd like to talk about your car's warranty.
I'll take care of it.
I have another issue I'll talk to you about after the
Me?
thing. No,
Oh, okay.
an email issue, I'll talk to her about it.
Okay.
All right. All I have for now.
All right. Engineers.
Okay, so Harvest Glen, Plat 10, Phase 1, street reconstruction. At the end of last week, we spoke to Fisher Excavating, and they said that this week we would have all the final paperwork to process the final payment amount of $8,000. So once we get all of that, we will submit the final pay request to Sandy for processing, and Brenda.
Thank you.
Harvest Glen, Plat 10, Phase 2 reconstruction. I'm told that today that all the punch list items are complete except for the driveway issue. And that Dan Bolin is contacting the Martin and Company's bonding company, asking for a conference call. I haven't heard if that's been completed yet or not, but that's where that's at. Illinois Route 72 sidewalks, there's no change on that one. Pacific Avenue culverts, the replacements, they started today. Not sure how far they got, but the decision was made to replace them once they got it opened up. So that's ongoing as we speak. North Junction Road seal coat, there's no update since last month. Old Crossing pond repairs, the last I heard from Stenstrom, which was a couple of weeks ago, they're going to get started early this month. I haven't heard from them recently, so maybe I'll give them a call and let you know where that stands. No update on the microsurfacing, no update on the park pond modifications. Maintenance building water main and Automobile Lane water main. I just sent the final pay request to Sandy so that Brenda can process that. I've got all the final paperwork for that one, so that one's complete. Water tower painting. There was a pre-construction meeting last week. Contractor thinks he's gonna start the beginning of September. Verizon's going to install a temporary tower for their antennas. Oak County 911 will be removing their antennas. Leaf River Communications will be relocating temporarily some of their equipment off of the tower and move some of the antennas around as the contractor does its work. Leaf River Communications is going to assist the village in moving their antennas that are on the water tower while the contractor is painting. And the Village Hall assessment, the preliminary space analysis will be completed by the middle of this month. And then we'll schedule a meeting to review it with village personnel before making a final presentation to the board. That's all the projects we've got going on right now.
By all means.
You might have to repeat it if Corey cannot hear me. My question is on that water tower project, is there going to be some security measures in place around the base or Verizon's temporary tower? We noticed this evening that there is a tremendous amount of youth hanging out in that vicinity. It won't,
Mike?
these are 10-year-olds. I know.
I will have to double check the plans, that they sent. I do know that there was some fencing involved, some details involved there. I'll just wanna verify that those will be around their temporary tower, but that's my assumption that those details were provided to surround their temporary tower.
If somebody just wants to make sure, as I said, there's been a tremendous amount of youth activity in that area, so I just want to make sure that the stuff is secure.
That's still on village property, right?
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, should make sure.
That doesn't stop them.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I
Yeah.
mean, we could be liable if they don't have some precautions though.
That's, Fergie had mentioned maybe putting some no trespassing signs up while we're working on this too. It's not a bad idea.
I'm just pulling up the plans here. Yeah, as I mentioned, it doesn't necessarily detail where they will be, but I will verify that those will be around the tower itself. Let them know that that's gonna be required.
Okay. Any further questions? Anything further from the engineers? Till we get down further. Move on to the committees. Development and events.
All I have is that last Wednesday, we had our first farmer's market. We didn't have any food truck vendors yet. I'm working on some right now still. And we had 10 vendors come down. It wasn't like amazing traffic, but I thought it was pretty decent. The vendors that I had talked to thought it, some said it could have been better, but some thought it was really good. So that was a plus. We had some new, vendors down there that we've never had before, so it was kind of refreshing. But I'm working on some new stuff for the one for next week, so. That's all I have.
Finance.
I'm not aware of any emergency expenditures. Again, please fill out your auditing form. That's all I got.
Ordinance enforcement.
Nothing.
Tetris. Parks.
Nathan, you have anything?
Just, there's a slight
Update to the, pavilion rental form, including the no smoking, and then just requesting that people not staple items so just some minor tweaks and updates to the rental form. That's it, really.
That's it then, Rick.
All right. Streets and ditches.
We should go to Dina first.
All right. Utilities.
Can you scroll down? I mean, I have it here, but that way everybody knows, but, so I have the discussion on the water tower letter and logo. So it's been brought to my attention that between the lettering and the train, there probably needs to be a space in between the two, and I'll be quite honest. If the recommendation is to put the space in there, I would say let's put the space in there and let's move on, because
Done.
truly, thank you. If anybody has
Done.
objections, please let me know.
Anybody object?
No.
All right, moving on.
Thank you.
Can you repeat that to make sure that Corey and Mike heard that change?
Sure.
Corey and Mike.
Okay.
They want the space in the lettering between the train and the wording.
Other than that, it was good.
Okay, noted.
Thank you.
I like the
And then
delay on the
I have
screen.
something on here with the discussion on the water tower hours of work, and that one I'm not as, so I'm gonna refer to Fergie on that one, please.
What? No, and Mike can jump in at any time on that. Basically, the contractor's just kind of wondering when they do get started, what they will be allowed to work. I'm assuming, Monday through Friday, I'm assuming 7 to 7, whatever, I don't know. So it's just what do you guys wanna allow mainly on the weekends? Do we wanna allow 10 or 12 on Saturday and half days on Sunday or full days on Sunday?
I have a question on that. Is this, we're talking about painting the water tower, right? It's not is it allowed?
It will be in the beginning, yes, when they're
Yeah,
blasting and all that,
like
that is
So
correct.
I think we have to be respectful. On the painting piece, I don't think that's gonna be allowed to do,
No.
I don't think that's a big deal. But on the sandblasting piece of it, I think we have to be respectful of our neighbors, if you will, in that respect.
Well, being it's a village project, we should follow the village noise ordinances.
Well, yes, we do, but Mike brought up a good point the other day. The longer we let them work, the sooner this project is over.
Right.
So,
I'm not saying 7 to 7, I'm
yeah.
the one that lives in that area to have to hear
Right,
it for
right.
12 hours a day.
What's the,
Are you biting your tongue, Sandy?
what's the length of the project?
Mike, go ahead.
By the end of October.
So the anticipated length of the project, it depends, you know, greatly on the weather. They're expecting to be blasting, as little as 5 weeks, as many as, 6, 7 weeks. Primarily, what they're wanting to do is, basically their crew comes out and they're in a hotel, and so they're hoping that they can work as many days as possible, so they're, not basically just sitting in, the hotel on the weekends. Where the extended hours comes, into play is, mostly, around the summer. There's condensation on the tank in the morning, so they have to wait for that to cook off before they can blast, and then typically when they blast, they need to prime in the same day. So what they want to do, normally is the blast in the morning, lets the dust settle, early afternoon, and then they prime, in the early evening. But, their goal for weekends is they're here, so they would rather, be working and get in and get out sooner than to not be working on the weekend, ultimately.
So I did look up what the noise ordinance is, and it does say that Monday through Friday, it's 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Saturday, Sunday, and holidays, it is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
So the 7 to 7 is pretty good.
And I just threw that number out there.
Yeah.
And I know the people that live in that vicinity, and there are several people over there who work third shift, but we're just not gonna be able to get around that.
No. I mean, 'cause like, I don't know what the, I can't, like, I don't.
The thing is, the longer they work, the shorter time they're gonna be there.
Yes, and as everybody is well aware here, the tower's out of service, we're running on pressure tanks. This is something to where
That's the,
we need to let them work, obviously within reason. I mean, they're not gonna be out blasting at midnight, I understand that. 10 o'clock's even a little extreme.
Say, as long as they fall within the noise ordinance, they're meeting everything we require of anybody else.
And then they
Yeah.
might need to have it anyways with regard to the weather, depending on what that is, they're gonna.
Exactly, we could lose days, a lot of things could happen here to where we're actually losing time. So I wanna get that tower back in
And
service as
And the
soon as
noise
possible.
ordinance already specifies the hours on the weekends, so if they wanna work the weekends,
It's the best
have
thing
at
to
it.
do, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Mike, I'll give you a call tomorrow. If you don't mind, we'll talk about it.
Thanks, Fergie.
Okay.
You're welcome, thank you.
Anything further?
Not from me at this moment.
Back to you.
Does the Lincoln Avenue have anything to do with Willett Hoffman? Does Willett, no? Then if you guys wanna, break out, we're done with Willett Hoffman. It's up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
You're gonna have to hang up on them there.
I'll hang up on Jared if I do.
So hang them all up and have Jared call back.
can't they just hang up?
If they hung up, would it?
No, it doesn't hang up their phone, so they called in too.
But the
But if
fake.
they-
If they hang up,
Yeah. How many callers?
And if they wanna listen, who cares? Yeah.
That's true. I
Looks
don't
like we
care, so it
looks like we
doesn't
only
matter.
have one caller left.
It doesn't matter.
Jared, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Then we have a couple of resolutions that I wanna propose is, the first one is, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution, number 20-50, a resolution accepting temporary construction easement and certain real property pins, 11-22-453-007, AKA 507, Autumn Lane, and 11-22-400-021.
Autumn Wolf.
Autumn Wolf Drive.
Did I, what'd I say?
Autumn Wood.
So you said Autumn Wood Lane.
Oh, all right, Autumn Wolf Drive.
I'll second.
I'm used to Autumn Wood.
Chris makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-50. Dina seconds. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
William.
Yes.
Motion passes 7:21.
My second motion is, I'd like to make a motion to approve for approval of a resolution number 20-51, a resolution accepting permanent drainage easement in certain real property, PIN 11-22-400-021.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-51. John seconds. Is there any discussion on this one?
Just for everybody's information, this is, the easements, both of these are, the first one was the temporary easement, and the second one is the permanent easement for the property owned by Frank Vella, so that we could do the ditch work.
And a big thank you to Frank Vella for,
Yes, I'd like to extend my appreciation to him too. I didn't think that this was gonna get done. And it's helpful, it'll help the village and any drainage issues we have.
any discussion? Roll call.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Motion passes 722. Floor is
All right.
still yours.
Yep, I'm looking for it, sorry.
That's all right.
So I'm not exactly sure how I make a motion to approve the bid, from N-Trax Group LLC in the amount of $570,925.65.
But it had the thing at the bottom that said, like, there was a piece that said if you, the last paragraph.
I gotta pull it up, give me
All right.
one
Is it
second.
N-Trax Group?
It throws me off when I have to do.
N-Trax, C-R-A-X?
It was really weird though, too, how.
How do you say that, N-Trax?
It is.
N-Trax.
No.
All right, N-Trax Group. They were the lowest bidder, they had a,
There is a bidding irregularity that you need to discuss, because you're gonna have to add that to your motion.
what was the bidding irregularity? I know he talked about it, do I have to read this
Yeah.
whole thing to figure out what it is?
Nope, so the bidding irregularity was, N-Track was the overall lowest bidder in both. However, there was a situation in which they had written out a different number than the numerical number. They caught it as soon as they were awarded the bid, contacted the engineer and said that the numerical number was the correct number. I talked to our attorneys about it, they didn't really have a problem with it as long as we waive the bidding irregularity while we are awarding the bid to N-Track for that amount, and then you need to decide if you're doing contract B with the alternate or without the alternate when you're awarding the bid.
Right.
So
Was
the
it-
$570,925.65 is correct.
No, not what I'm reading. This says 555,000.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it
they-
does, but there's an alternate that we're
Well,
going to
the
go
last-
with,
I think
that is an
it's
extra,
$15,000.
that's an extra $15,570.
What's the alternate?
The alternate was that, the stuff for under the road, was that not the case?
My understanding is that the alternate was a different material that was to be used to go up higher on the sides. I asked Nick about it before the meeting, and
Are you referring to the geotextile?
yes,
Okay, then
That's for under the road,
I don't know.
drainage for under the road? Drainage, to help with drainage for the road,
it would be, yes, so geotextile.
yes.
Drainage.
Yeah.
It's on a hill.
Well, apparently it's, they were gonna do a coring, and how exactly did that go? Did they do a coring?
They did, well, they attempted to do corings through the concrete swale.
Yeah, but
It
I'm,
didn't work out
Wait a
because of
minute, wait,
water.
are we talking the road or the concrete swale?
it's both, they're one and the same. The road is one portion of the project, the extension of Automobile Drive is one portion
I understand.
of it, and then the concrete swale goes the rest. We needed the easements for the concrete swale, but
understand
part of the recommendation from, the engineers was to put this geotech under the road because the road, to increase the stability of the road. Is that a good way to put
I
it?
can't remember how it's worded, I don't have it
Yeah,
in front of me, so you guys
I-
have it, I don't.
Yeah, he told me that's what it was for. It was to help with the drainage
We did talk
and
about
stability of the
geotextile.
road. He said it was an excellent product.
Yes, and it's very common, it's used
Right.
quite often.
Right.
Yes.
And they were still the cheapest,
Yeah, he still came in on.
right.
All right, the requested alternate prices for the installation of Fleximat Plus along the ditch side slopes near the confluence point of both ditches and is applicable only if contract B is awarded, which is what now that we have the easements that we needed, contract B is gonna be what is gonna be recommended. This material will provide a more stable base along the ditch side slopes in which to allow the village public works staff to access the ditch bottoms with maintenance equipment, i.e. sweeping as needed.
So,
For the,
so the total cost is the $570,000?
Yes.
Okay, and then, and it has it broken down exactly specifically, I think it looks like you could even, it says if the village awards contract B, the motion should also include whether or not the alternate is approved.
Yes.
If approved, the total contract price would be the addition of contract B and the alternate price provided. Therefore, the total contract cost, if awarded to N-Track Group LLC, would be $570,925.65.
Which is,
The $555,000 is the contract B, but the alternate is the $15,750,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
but even if, with both of them together, they're still lower than the second.
Right, but you just have to say that in the
Oh,
motion about the
okay.
fact that the alternate is being approved in
All
addition
right.
to contract B, correct?
For a total
For the
of,
total amount of
So
$550,000.
Got it.
here's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you what your
Or I'll do
motion's
it.
gonna be, and you're gonna say, I make a motion as set forth by Sandy.
All right.
So your motion needs to say that you are going to, award the Autumn Wolf Drive and Drainage Ditch Improvement Project to N-Track for contract B with the alternate, waiving all bidding irregularities for a total contract amount of $570,925.65.
All right, what was I gonna say again?
You make a motion
As
as
set
set
forth
forth
by
by
I make a motion as set forth by Sandy.
And I'll second it.
okay. So Chris makes a motion as set forth by Sandy. Dina seconds. Does everybody have a grasp of this? We can go into discussion? Any discussion?
yes.
Go ahead.
When we purchased this property, I think 6 years ago,
It's been a while.
7 years ago, and even before we owned that property, the intent was always to put that road through, as well as the water. Even though we did the water last year, I lobbied as best I could to make sure that we were doing a complete project all at once. Whether we determined we were selling the parcels off to builders, which we later determined one was too small, the other one potentially could, however, it's just totally irregular. And then we needed to determine what we were gonna do with the property, and I'm very disappointed that we did not do any of that again.
How long ago was that?
We bought that property, I'm guessing 6 years ago,
Okay.
but I've brought this up every time this discussion.
Well, I hope in the future that we actually do put a park in there, and we still can. It shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be a problem. It really shouldn't be. We have
But what
access.
happens is then, when we put a park in, we're gonna have the discussion about parking. Then we're gonna cut up a brand-new road that we just put in,
Well,
and, Or-
that's debatable on whether or not we put in parking, but I'm saying
Absolutely.
we can do it, so.
absolutely correct. I mean, or we can reduce the size now and eliminate the parking, but
Yeah.
we're gonna cause damage to brand-new stuff we're putting in, and that's what I'm tired of doing in this village.
Right,
And that's
but we
why I'm
really
trying to avoid.
shouldn't. We should have access to it from that access road, and it really
Hopefully,
shouldn't.
yes.
It shouldn't really, we should not have an issue,
Assuming we're using
with the
that
minor
side.
construction for a park. Because this is not gonna have ditches anymore, so it should be all right. You know, it'll have curbs, there won't be ditches. The only problem you would have is if you went ahead and then put in parking. You know, which I think that if it's gonna be a community park, we probably
That would
shouldn't.
be silly.
Right, we probably shouldn't anyway, but, with the access from the access road, if Parks gets around to putting in a park.
And if we did it on the
a
east
neighborhood
side.
park. Yes, well, that's really the side
That's the
that
larger
should be done.
side.
Yeah, and it's also uphill, so, you know, it's gonna be drier for the most part during any time. So if we're going to put it in, we probably should consider it there. We need
I do
to-
support the project, and it will go
we need to
forward,
get this
but-
done though, because between
Agreed.
the Army Corps of Engineers and the easements that we need, we need to get it done. All right, I'm done, sorry.
All right. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
Motion passes 7:30.
Oh, hey, I have no idea what the Lincoln
Oh,
Avenue.
yeah, I do.
Okay, thanks.
So, I just asked Rick to bring up the Ogle County GIS for Lincoln between Goodrich and Maple.
I did see some nice pictures though.
Yeah, so,
The illegal alley?
yeah, well, it's not an illegal. So, if you zoom in, keep going, yep. So can you zoom in right there? Yep, right there. So as you'll see, Lincoln Avenue is intended to go all the way to Goodrich. When I vacated Alleys as a trustee and again finished it up as a clerk, we purposely did not vacate that land because Lincoln is intended to go all the way through. As you'll see in the photos in your board packet, the homeowner to the south of where Rick's Mouse is right now has started installing pine trees and detailed landscaping in what is the middle of the road. So I guess the question is, what do we want to do, if anything, and at what point, if any, will we be
We bring up your other picture.
doing anything with
How do
Lincoln?
you,
How do you do it in the middle of the road?
Is that his property?
There's no road.
There's
It's
no
grass.
road right
It's
now.
grass,
It's,
so he
it's plotted
treats
as a
it-
road.
But those
Is
pictures
that-
have a road and
If you
is it
zoom to
anymore?
the left,
There's no
you
road
can see
there.
it.
So he doesn't know where his land boundaries
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
His
Well,
land.
then
And,
he can't-
I can't say he doesn't know that. As a trustee, I sent him a letter because he used to park an RV there, in which I informed him his RV is in the middle of a roadway and asked him to
Then
move
inform
it.
him his trees are on a middle of a roadway.
This,
you don't-
this would be the,
Vacate it and see if he wants to buy it. I don't think we're gonna put that road through,
I don't
are we?
know, what would be the
The road-
purpose
wait,
of
wait,
the
let
road?
me back up a second. Aren't these trees in there too?
Kind of, they're like at the far edge of it.
So like when that curve goes to the right now, there's no longer, that's all grass?
No, no.
right?
No,
no,
it
no.
still
No.
goes
According to
there.
this, those trees are right in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Go to the
Well,
satellite
I shouldn't
photo,
say
you'll
it.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're in the road.
That
But
comes
re-
around by
but remember the
car
GIS
house,
is
Dana
off a
Carter.
little too.
Okay, it's not
Yeah.
off, if this
Yeah.
is the road,
Right.
Yeah, nope, those trees would be in the road then too.
so the
But
big ones would have to go as well.
I wasn't there 100 years ago when those trees were planted. We're here
I
now when
understand.
those little ones are planted. And which also brought up another discussion, which is, Maple Court somehow is an alley that got given a road name. And so part of the issue with Lincoln Avenue, or Lincoln right there, is we need to decide, are we gonna truly make that a road, or are we not?
You'd be
Because-
very difficult in making it a road that would meet our criteria.
It
Let's say it don't meet the regs.
Yeah.
It won't meet the regs, that wouldn't.
Oh, you can't make Maple Court, but whether or not you continue the part of Lincoln to try to get as much as we can out of Maple
So
Court.
to answer your question.
So is that supposed to go all the way over where that circle
Right
is?
here, yes.
Can we,
Okay.
I gotta do Lincoln first and then we can talk about.
Right, so
Yeah.
it's
Hold
supposed to
on.
go all the way over.
right here.
Yes,
Circle.
Yes.
yes.
Quite
and
a few of them too.
Yes.
Well, if we're never gonna.
And where's Maple Court?
Rick, can you show
Right
us your
here.
mouse?
I don't know why we
That-
put a road in there.
I'd vacate it and see if they wanna buy it.
Yeah, I went back
Apparently
to
you
the
can't
original
sell land
plat
like
for the
that.
Village of Davis Junction. That is an
I
alley.
don't know, what
Somewhere
happened
along
to
the
that?
road, somebody gave it a road name, but
Yeah,
it is
you
the
gotta
width
sell
of
it,
an
they gotta
alley.
bid on
It
it,
is
yeah.
an alley.
Oh, well, maybe then you can.
I will probably anger some people with that statement, but it is what it is.
Like, we don't like plow the snow through there, do we?
Yeah. We plow all the
way
alleys.
through it?
See that
Super
grass
narrow,
area?
isn't it?
No.
Oh, the alley?
Around that curve.
Right.
Well, the
Leave it there.
only house,
There's only one house in there.
Look at he's laughing.
and that's this one.
Yes.
Oh,
I'd leave it the way it is.
'Cause this one goes all the way back, so we could have a road. This is the only one that does not, but its access should be out here.
The original town of Davis Junction was platted with that being an alley, so it being an alley isn't really an issue. We've named it a road, given it some house addresses, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's whether, if we're not gonna do something with Lincoln, then maybe the discussion is to try and fix that top part of Lincoln coming into Maple and then vacate the remainder of it. So fix right where your mouse is to there, and then vacate what's left
I
to
would
Goodrich.
rather, I would rather
What's wrong with it?
not.
We gotta fix it.
I wouldn't,
I'd
That's the way it
I
works.
wouldn't wanna do that.
yeah, why
Why are
would,
we-
Willing to be
fixing
that
it?
person
Yeah.
sitting here doing that, I'm
That's
not.
my-
There's not really anything wrong with it. That's why I said I kinda need long-term forecasting here, because
If we were to
if we're
widen
gonna-
that and make it look like a road,
The only
we're gonna
question I
entice
have is,
traffic to go through there. And
Do you have any difficulty plowing it?
With what's in there,
Yes.
there will be the potential of that, yes, because it is right up to the alley. Street, whatever you wanna call it today.
Little shrub.
what's
No, I'm talking about right now, do you have any issues plowing that street?
Maple Court.
The, Maple Court,
Yes.
absolutely, it
Okay.
is horribly narrow, it is.
Well, and I know you got a fence that runs right here.
Yes, there's nowhere to put the snow, we have to, it's horrible.
If they don't move their cars, then don't
It's
plow
not
it.
a matter of cars, it's too
Oh.
narrow.
It's an alley.
Yeah, but I can't see widening the road for that reason.
You
We
can't
can't
widen the
widen it.
road, there's
Well,
houses.
then you gotta keep plowing it, I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, it is absolutely horrible.
why is there a mailbox at the end of it?
How the hell are they gonna get out?
I was just gonna say, what is their address actually Maple Court, or is that house
Yeah.
considered
No, it's
72?
You're right, we don't have to
It's
plow it.
Maple
but we
Court.
can-
Is it?
That's the, I think
It
that's
is
the biggest
Maple
one.
Court.
It'd be kinda crappy not to
Okay,
plow it.
so again, back to the first issue, which is, what is the overall plan with Lincoln, and then what are we gonna do about the trees or nothing? Or, and I
Eh.
guess the reason I'm asking for the forecasting is because that determines
As-
what we do with what's
As a
there.
streets trustee, I see no point in putting the road through. I mean, maybe it was designed that way, but I don't see a purpose for
I
it.
don't know what that would gain.
Except
or
for you'd
advantage.
spend a lot of money for something
And
you.
if we
I
ever
think, I
wanted
think
to
we
put
should
it-
split it off and do what William said, put it up for sale.
Or if we ever wanted the road, we just take the trees out then and
So
don't sell
who's
it.
doing the landscaping, that last house right there?
Yes,
Yeah.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a asphalt parking spot he
Yes.
put in?
in the middle of our roadway, yes, that's where he used to put his RV, in which I sent him a letter as a trustee letter.
So I mean, we could split this little parcel off right here and put it up for sale. Keep this, 'cause we gotta be able to get through there, and if we need to widen something to make that, you could widen this part.
So like a bid sale, is that what it happens?
Yeah.
All right.
It's-
I don't mind, I
This
don't
is
think,
similar to like, to me, it'd be similar to the land on the Mold House. We have a piece of land that's for sale.
all right, works
So
for me.
is the board okay with me then trying to solicit for bids to, for an appraiser, whoever may be the person capable of splitting that and making it its own parcel?
Sure.
We're gonna spend.
Make it happen.
Okay, so if we sell that piece on the east side there, and they can go ahead and decorate it, landscape it and everything right up to the edge of the alley,
No, when we parcel it off,
how
they
do
can
we
use
do
that.
that without me damaging what's
No,
there?
we're
You
gonna
can't
need,
parcel, you can't put shrubs to the edge. of
When
the
we
road.
parcel it off,
It's under-
make a
it's
10-foot easement.
I say under the
Right.
ordinance.
Well, you need a-
We'll throw an easement in there.
When- yeah.
Say that again, there's a lot of people.
When we parcel that off, since it's our property, we create an easement on the west side of
Okay.
10 feet or whatever, that is a no access, you know, you can't put
Technically,
anything there.
As
And then
narrow
it's-
as that
it's
is, how
sold
would
as
a,
that.
how would a 35-foot right-of-way work in there? It would pretty much take this entire thing.
That can't be parceled.
I'd say tell them to.
What
take
you
the
just
trees
circled
out.
there can't be parceled.
I'm not saying part, 'cause it would remain to the village.
Yeah.
But we set up the right-of-way on it, because it is a village
That part,
street.
I don't care, I'm talking the part that we're selling,
This,
yes.
but if you say, if we put a 35-foot right-of-way out here,
You're gonna be in his living room.
it's okay, be like here.
Literally, his house is a couple feet off the edge of
I
it.
say, yeah.
I'm not saying down here,
How close, yeah.
I'm saying here, on the piece we
For when you
parcel.
come around the corner?
Or you just make the line back farther.
Yeah, I just need room to put snow.
Right.
However we wanna do it, I just.
To move their mailbox, you can push the snow right into that open spot.
Or, we parcel it off, we keep it, and that's where you park snow.
Well, yeah, so I was just gonna say, why don't we just keep it
That's
and
your-
plow
They
snow?
gave you a really nice pad to park your,
Yeah.
equipment
No,
on.
I don't care if you get rid of, I just gotta have room for snow.
Yeah, if we're using it to park snow, there's no point in
No.
parceling it. He
No.
just needs to start parking snow on it.
Right.
Yep.
And maybe we just need to send a letter to the person currently putting
Is that
stuff there
beneficial for you?
saying, please move your stuff.
Can you use that for snow, staging, whatever you call it?
Push
Well,
it.
No, I'm just talking for when we remove snow.
The snow
in the
from Maple
alley
Court.
Maple Court.
They need places
I
to go
can't
there.
access that grass for any other reason. I'm just saying, so when we're trying to plow around that radius, that drifts real bad. So a lot of times I take snow and I push it straight north, or I take snow from the west and I push it straight east.
And if you have an easement, you can do that.
So,
I
yeah, like
say
I
we
said,
keep it.
I just gotta have room for snow.
What about the trees then?
Salt,
I
I
just say
like
we
that.
keep it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
It looks like they're village trees.
You need to move the trees.
the trees, the hay rake, the.
Well, he can leave it all there for now, but until we destroy it.
And
The
that-
wheelbarrow?
Yeah, tell him to remove his stuff from the
Is
property.
there really a pile of rocks there too?
Yes.
Yeah,
What the hell?
It might be a
Alright,
David
so,
question.
At the
That's fine.
direction
you
of
just see
Rick,
the wheel.
at the direction of Rick, I'll prepare a letter to that homeowner letting him know it's in the middle of a
I
roadway.
also have a
and
question.
that's ours,
Is that
please remove
street
it.
light over on the other
Alright.
street?
And
Those
you're talking
trees
about
won't do
those-
That
much
one, yeah.
damage. Those trees take forever to grow, so.
Yeah.
But like Rick said, if we wanted to get, but add a right of way, that gives me room to.
It gives you 35 feet, you can shove anything you want.
Like I said, that is doable.
But it would just be on the parcel that we, oop, that's the wrong thing. We'll throw this one up there. Maybe. If you just, when you parcel this off, set your 35-foot center.
I say keep it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It isn't really good for
I
anybody.
mean, more than
but
likely, the
homeowners
person that would
there.
buy it lives right there.
Yeah.
So why don't we do
No,
it?
And that- and that's
I don't,
fine.
I don't know, 'cause I think
Buy
he's
it.
claiming it's already his anyway.
But in the grand scheme of things, if we're keeping the piece on the west, we're doing a 35-foot right of way, why sell the rest of it?
Right,
That's what I
that's
mean.
what I'm saying, if
Keep-
we're gonna do that, we might as well just keep
Well,
it.
I'm just asking.
Cause we ain't gonna get nothing.
But you're gonna have to start mowing it.
The issue's gonna be, you gotta mow it, and we're gonna have a fight with the property owner. When it's a piece of parcel that we do not need, we do not want,
So
we can
I,
easily resolve this.
with it.
So at no point in the future, we're worried about ever needing that street in there?
Hold on, back up.
That's what we need to.
William,
I'm just looking at the future.
William, 6 years ago, I sent him a letter that was a village roadway. He still mows it. He wants to still use it. I just told him quit putting stuff in it.
Let them buy it then, I don't have a problem.
You know, I don't have a problem with him keeping it either, as long as we have enough room to put our snow, and
Well,
that should be.
the thing we gotta worry about is we gotta keep making sure he understands it's not his,
Yes.
because you don't want it to become, well, I've been maintaining it for 12 years.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah, no, I can find my old letter and maybe even attach that to the new letter and say, hey, we sent you this letter before.
I just said to him, tell him, get your stuff off it, it's not your property.
All right,
Because, I mean, that's exactly what it is. He's in the middle, nobody else can put their crap out in the middle of the road and leave it.
no,
I mean, if we
We,
did
we
get
can,
rid of it.
we keep saying that, but there's no road there.
No, there's
No.
no road there. I think that there's no road there either. And
But
if it was
still
me,
ain't his, whether there's a road.
I'd do the same thing. Not that I'd put trees up there, I mean, I
No, but I
would
mean,
probably.
if it weren't mine, I might mow it and use it for family gatherings and
Yeah,
parties,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna build structures on it.
He's
and
being
plant
No.
pretty
stuff.
advantageous.
I probably wouldn't do that either. I don't have a problem if you wanna sell it to them though, or sell it, period.
And if we do,
As long as there's enough room to put your
and
snow.
if we do want to sell in that and make a 35-foot right-of-way like Rick said or whatever, he'd lose some of what he's got. Landscaping that he's done, he probably wouldn't lose all of it.
Right.
He would just lose a chunk of it.
Right.
So,
And then you sell, put the property for sale. He buys it or somebody else buys it, it's then their property.
Well, that's true too, but, well, never mind. Okay, I don't care
Make
either
the
way.
property line at the
Yeah.
easement.
I don't really, it makes no difference to me, whatever you guys want.
We'll spend $10,000
like I said, I'm just
Get rid
looking
of
for a place for snow, so.
I don't care, it makes no difference.
I don't care when we.
I could go either way,
As long
just
as we
as long as we have
recover
a place to
anything
put
we-
our snow.
Pay to do this process.
I don't care one way, it doesn't matter.
How much it really cost to
You
put it up for
never, you
bid?
never know.
No, to parcel it off, and then it'll cost a couple
it's
thousand
gonna
dollars.
cost a couple thousand.
Then I'd say then we ask for a couple thousand.
Absolutely.
because,
Right.
Just the, you need to recoup at least.
How about we see if there's interest first on his
That's
part to
true.
purchase
That
it?
would be a
He may
great
say, I
idea.
never wanna buy that no matter what, then
Yeah.
there's
Isn't
no
that
point.
mine?
There you go.
Well,
But-
that's just it, see what the
Why would I
attitude
buy
is.
something I already own?
If he says it's, yeah, he may say, I ain't gonna give you nothing.
Well, it is open,
That's
it
like,
would be up for
guess what,
sale to
ours?
anybody.
See if he has an interest in buying it.
Who owns the property on the
Well, the
other
thing
side?
is-
They might want it.
I don't know, we'd have to figure out what the property's worth, then put it up for sale. If he wants to buy it, he'll buy it.
Yeah, I
If
don't,
he doesn't,
Yeah.
It's gotta be like
It-
Yeah, but then we wasted all that money.
$3,000.
As a
somebody else
municipality,
buy it.
as a municipality selling real estate, we can't just offer it to an individual for
No, I get
sale.
it.
We do have to go through the
Sure.
extensive project
Sure.
process we did before.
I mean, it wouldn't be
and there's
big
somebody
enough.
on the other
But-
side
but
who might
can
wanna
we
buy it.
Wait a
ask
minute.
if there's interest first before we do that?
We didn't do that for vacating the alleys.
So we were vacating a public roadway. So if we vacate it and give it to him, there's no cost, we're not selling it to him, we're not making any money. If we are selling him, there is a process that has to go through to make sure that we're fair.
We'll just vacate it.
Well, it's true, it should probably be open for anybody who wants to buy
But
it.
what can you do with it?
Well, the person on the other side might want it, but nobody else
so
will.
that parcel should be,
It's not buildable.
if this is about 70 feet, 'cause that
Oh, but-
should be our easement, our right of way.
Significant land to his property.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, I'd buy it too if I lived
Okay.
there.
All right,
So-
Gina's right, there's too many people talking all the time. Thank you.
I'd buy it too if I
One
lived
at a time.
If you've got 66 feet here, and from here over minus 33 from here, you're gonna be about 318 feet long, this whole thing. So this, what's that say, 150?
Yeah. 150,
This could still be it's gonna be 100 and some odd, hell, 35 foot, you'll gain a parking lot.
Well, another question, if you don't mind, because I don't know. Let's say the, storage units are gone, or Glendenning, or, not Glendenning, is that Maplehurst, Sandy? Yeah. Let's say, could those at any point in time in the future become other businesses? To where that street actually could come into play if we installed it?
Right, that's what I'm.
I would-
That's all I'm asking.
I would not encourage truck traffic to go through that.
Well, I'm not saying I'm saying any type of business. I don't know what type of business, but it doesn't have to be industrial or construction
Oh,
or farming or.
Don't shoot ourselves
I
in
don't
the
know.
foot.
In 100 years, we'll
Just
let,
asking.
we'll let the next board worry.
Sandy knows the zoning, that's why I'm asking the question. I don't.
I'll be dead by then.
I don't
It
think.
won't be our decision, will it?
No,
They got a really big Goodrich. That's good enough right there.
I mean, we've had it all this year.
The only option, I mean, is either, to me, either leave it like it is, you parcel off the one side of it, or you put the darn road through.
No, the road is not going
Thank
through.
you. So share this.
I'm just saying, those are pretty much your options.
Yeah, that's-
Leave it alone.
Well, it's
How
been left
about-
alone for 100 years, so why not?
How about I do the letter to him saying, hey, please move your stuff, and then I also pull the memo that Ansel's Link made to this village board about what the process is for selling real estate at the next committee level meeting, and we can kind of discuss and see how involved that is, and then see if this board is interested in even heading down that route.
All right.
It'll cost us a small penny.
While we're there, and I do hate to do this.
No, you don't.
I do, I really do.
It's paining you, I can tell.
It is.
I know.
What's happening with the entrance to Ogle Crossing? Where are we with that?
We have not heard back from from Ogle Crossings. Would you like to reach out to them? We sent her the letter with the option, and we have not heard back.
All right, forget I mentioned it.
So you don't want to reach out to them?
No, it's not that I don't. I mean, I thought, does it not have to be somewhat official?
It does. We need to make a decision on it, but
Yeah.
we left it in, we left it in the HOA's court. Life has been a little rough in these last couple months, so I'm not sure how people have been able to interact, or she's been able to talk to the HOA, members.
Well, maybe we should,
Would you like
Send-
me to follow up
well,
with her?
I mean, maybe we should send them another letter saying that we need to know and give them some kind of time frame to answer us by. Otherwise, we just pull it out.
All right, what kind of
you know.
time frame you want to give them?
I don't know, what's reasonable? Would we need to pull it out before the end of summer?
Well, let's assume that they have a monthly meeting,
I don't. I think they meet annually.
but let's assume that they do. If we send it to them now, that monthly meeting may already have occurred, so if you left it till the end of September, that would give them ample time to communicate to their community.
Sounds
They all
wonderful.
live right there, it can't be that difficult
All
to
right,
communicate.
so September 30th, you want me to just follow up letter? Hey, can we get an answer by then?
We probably should
All
know
right,
whether or
I
not
will
we're gonna
doodle
need
you
to pull it
something.
out.
I'll doodle something for you to sign next week.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. I just want it to be official, you know, so
Yep.
that way when we go to pull it out, you know, nobody's, all right.
Okay, I can do that.
Hey, did we not have?
Yeah, we gave them plenty.
All right,
Yeah, and I know the world has been in turmoil since then, so
Why?
let's give them some notice, you're right. Seems reasonable.
yeah, I just wondered if we had heard anything at all.
Nope.
You know, she could call us and say, hey, we're in, you know, everything's been in turmoil, I've
If
been,
somebody's not here.
I like it, I personally like it to stay there, but, you know, I don't wanna maintain it.
It looks
Don't
very
think-
nice.
It does, it looks very nice.
I know,
Nate?
I just like the way it looks.
New guy,
Can you
new
do
guy,
something?
new guy, new guy.
All right, I'll prepare something for you next week.
Thank you. That's all I got.
All right. Anything on unfinished business?
Is there any reason to keep that sidewalk thing on there?
Yes, there's a policy that needs to be put in place, and a draft has been created. I want to say it was done in January, and then Fergie and I were forced to social distance, and so we really haven't had time to finish up on that.
Okay.
But, no, that needs to stay on there because that needs to be addressed.
Put a sidewalk down Lincoln.
Yeah, so the sidewalk is the sidewalk policy that sets forth what types of sidewalk conditions need to be, and then we can go through the village and add, fix, repair, remove as necessary.
Anything further on unfinished business? There is no public unless anybody wants to make a statement as public.
I'll just bring it up.
Uh,
Are we gonna do anything,
Next week.
all right then.
I think I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going.
Okay then,
I feel like we're out of the know.
I feel like you're silencing
Now I gotta worry all
No.
week what to do.
you'll have to like wait,
I need,
All right.
I need the solution to the problem before I present the problem.
okay.
Then why
Good.
present the problem if there's already a solution?
We don't
I'm
have a
waiting on the solution.
We don't have a solution.
We'll loop back
Why not
around.
hear the problem and then we can work on
Because
the solution?
we'll be here for an hour and we're gonna get nowhere.
Okay, let's move on.
And moving on,
And maybe wait till,
eliminated that with the water
maybe wait
tower,
till
let's go.
everybody's here.
moving on only leaves
Present.
adjournment.
Everyone should be here next.
Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Chris makes a motion to adjourn, John seconds.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Jen, do you want to do yes or no?
Sure.
All right, we're adjourned at 7:51.